Well, welcome to the Reality Check. We have come to a satellite location down here on Fort Myers Beach to support our people. Guys, it's been a rough couple weeks. It's the first time we've actually been out of the studio and away from Gentry, so we're a little bit scared to death about that, but I've got my guys. I got C. Nick, J. Nick, and how about for the first time on camera, the Shooter, the owner of Shooter's Bar and Grill.
There he is.
We unfortunately, we are one Black Hawk down. We lost our boy. He's still wandering around Mobile. We'll see if we can get him back, but we'll have Trick back in studio with us next week. But how you doing, guys?
Yeah,
doing all right?
Survive. I was just going to say that.
Doing a lot better since
surviving now that
getting through the weekend and the last 3 weeks. We're a lot better.
Right. Now that I got my power back, I'm a happy camper.
It's been interesting. Obviously, one of our new title sponsors for the show is going to be Flex Seal. Right. Tell us, Shooter, about what you did to the house. You weren't obviously going back 2 years. Your fate with Ian.
After Hurricane Ian, I swore that I would never let a drop of water in my house again. And then Helene came by and she gave me a little 10-foot brush of hello, how are you? And so then for Milton, I went and flex sealed the seams, flex taped the doors, plastic, sandbag, and unfortunately my neighbors around and behind me got flooded.
I take it no Flex Seal.
Not a drop. Not one drop in my house. Unfortunately, the Lonnie Kai did not use Flex Seal because they got pretty good and whacked. But Flex Seal kept the water out of my house. Thank God. Thank God.
Jay Nick, you came unscathed. I know you took off on us. You went over to Miami.
Oh yeah, I was slumming at the Hard Rock. in the club. Now, I feel so horrible. There are so many people in Sarasota
leaving me alone to put up mom's shutters. Is that where we're going with this?
Let's not fight about that again. But yeah, so the people in Asheville, Tampa, Sarasota, we all are very grateful. I know we are. We're very fortunate that we did not receive water. The wind damage, we got a tropical storm, let's face it. We did have some high sea levels, but all of us in the crew and everybody we know, other than Gentry, I know he's going through some tough times, but nothing like what people in North Carolina, Georgia, and on the coast.
Even the east coast of Florida.
Yeah,
the tornadoes that came flying through. Yeah.
Like, I don't want to make light of it. It's horrible. And
the sad thing is
I just say, thank God, and I really appreciate just the outcome that we've had, and I feel for everybody. And I've always, as we're out there, we're reaching out to the community, we're offering our services, offering our trucks, any way we can help anybody out there, we're offering it. That's my conversation with everybody on the phone. How can I help?
In a way, I feel kind of guilty, to be honest with you, because for the last couple of hurricanes, my poor neighbor on the corner, she moved in her house 3 weeks before Helene, right after Hurricane Ian, and she got washed out 2 weeks in a row. And I feel bad. I feel guilty. I feel guilty for our friends that are on Sanibel Islands, fixing their whole bottom floors. And Bobby lost his car
during Helene.
So,
wasn't even when Milton was worse.
So I'm very thankful that I'm not having to repair and replace everything again. But I feel guilty that all my friends are going through this.
Going through something like this is such, call it, weather stress. Weather stress is real. It like the people that have to go through it.
Stressful energy. And
it's negative, and people start fighting, they get angry, and road rage. It's like all kinds of crazy stuff. But you look behind us, and it's amazing.
Look at where we're at.
What we live with. I mean,
and you know what? I actually have a client. She lives in North Carolina, Swanoa, I believe is how you pronounce it, and she got devastated. It was all in the news. She came down. Her mom had passed away. She lives in. Mom had a place in Spring Hill, Florida, which is around the Ocala area. And here comes Hurricane Milton. coming through.
Right.
It's just, again, it's really been very difficult, very tough for those who had to go through this again with the flooding, damage, and so forth. But we just unite. That's what we do.
And that's what
down
it's
here
done.
in Florida.
Hopefully, it's all brought a lot of our country together in helping one another. Forget about all the other
all the
stuff.
political, but not to get into the political bullshit, but the one thing we are blessed with here in the state of Florida is our governor.
Go Ron.
I mean, Governor DeSantis, God bless you. God bless all of the power, the linesmen that come in. He gets hauled in here because we didn't go without power for but a couple hours.
Well, and then there's also that element that's creeping around when there was power outages and stuff. So God bless you, Carmine, our sheriff.
Yeah. So we're blessed. That's why we choose to live here, and it's
for the moment.
For the moment. Yeah. Well, you go back to the story. My mom and dad. One of the reasons I came back down here was because they were here. Well, Ian scared them away. So where'd they move? They moved to Greenville, South Carolina. And Helene went right over and did almost more damage there to them than Ian did here.
So I bought my house 3 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
The great couple that was retiring that sold me my house moved to Asheville to get away from the hurricanes. How about that?
That's just...
Thankfully, they're okay. Yeah. So.
But there is a
beautiful.
price you pay for paradise, and just look behind us.
We normally get it 360 days out of the year.
Right.
Yeah.
Beautiful sunset.
Exactly.
But my heart goes out to everybody that's suffering, and hopefully
Not to make light.
they can rebuild and rebuild their lives and get through it. It took me 2 years to literally fight with the insurance company, and I didn't even want that much. But they punted me, they denied me, they moved me around these different, like all these different things, and so I had to go to a professional adjuster, and it took me 2 years, and finally I'm getting my roof redone.
Hey,
I had a leak.
I have a professional adjuster. And last week I get an email from my insurance company saying, hey, we're tough times, Hurricane Milton, we're here for you. And I'm like, you haven't paid me for Ian yet.
Yeah.
So
Don't get
I'm
me
still
started
waiting.
on the insurance company.
Yeah, don't even start. All right.
They
We won't
take
go
your
there.
money, but they don't want to be there when
Yeah.
you actually really need them.
Yeah.
To put your life back together.
But good luck to everybody.
Yeah.
I know it's tough.
So from us at the Reality Check, just know we're thinking about you. We've been through it. We feel for you, but we're trying to support the local community and help the people here in Fort Myers Beach, Sanibel, and some of the areas of Fort Myers get back on their feet. St. Pete Beach, Clearwater, you'll get through it, but we're all here and we're all in together. And thank you, Governor DeSantis. And we'll be back in just a minute. Again, supporting our local folks, our folks at 3 City Pizza. God bless you. We love you. The best pizza in Southwest Florida. And we'll see you soon. We'll be back in just a minute. Thank
Fort
you.
Myers Beach.
Again, welcome back to the Reality Check. We're down here satellite on Fort Myers Beach, supporting our local brethren coming out for the hurricanes. But again, a big shout out to 3 City Pizza. All right, guys, the wind's picking up.
Yes, it is.
So we're wobbling a little bit, but that's okay. But we want to get into our college football segment. We got 5 games to talk about. Trick will do a short to do his Trick's Power Picks, his Patrick's Power Picks. We'll have to do that, and we'll get that out online. But the first game that we're going to talk about is Alabama, the Crimson Tide, with 1 loss going into Tennessee, Old Rocky Top, to play the Tennessee Volunteers. It's a 3:30 game on Saturday. Alabama's given 2 to Tennessee. Tennessee's getting points at home. What do you think, boys? Sure, you get to make picks today. This is new.
So I'll start.
All right.
I think Alabama has scathed through several games. They are not the Alabama. They're very good, but they've gotten lucky. I think Tennessee. I think this game is going to be a very even match. Tennessee should have lost last weekend.
Florida had them on the ropes. Billy should have went for 2.
So I think this game is going to come down to a couple middle of the pack SEC teams right now, which is what I think they are.
Okay, interesting. Johnny, going into Neyland, Rocky Top,
Well, I
Peyton
gotta be
Manning,
honest with
Ghost
you,
of Tennessee.
Hurricane Milton washed my buddy Trick away. And it's horrible because, we have...
You have your banter.
It's an angry. It's like I don't have that angry hurricane fire. I feel very, very naked right now. I don't even know where I'm at. I'm on the beach. Things are foreign to me.
You want a cocktail?
I don't know what's she doing back there. I don't know what's she doing. It's just bad. Trick.
We miss you.
I love my angry friend, man. I love my angry friend. But anyway, prediction: it's going to be a high-scoring game.
Okay.
And Tennessee wins by a field goal, or at the end of the game goes to a field goal and Tennessee wins. I think Alabama's luck has run out. You could say the same thing about Tennessee, but I think, it's the time for the Vols to shine.
Okay. Old Rocky Top.
Right, and I'm going the other way.
You going Bama?
I think
Right.
it's going to be, a field goal game, just like you said. It's going to come down to a field goal, and I think Alabama is going to be victorious.
Well, as you guys know, I'm a huge Tide fan, but what you've seen this year, Kalen DeBoer is getting his feet wet because you don't see the discipline you've seen out of Alabama teams in the past. I mean, the shitstorm that happened in Nashville a couple weeks ago against Vanderbilt, the kid kicking the ball, he should have been suspended for 2 weeks. But I'm going to go with Alabama with you, so we're going to split it, and we'll see who Trick picks later.
Tennessee wins 43-40.
Okay.
I like that.
All right, now this one is near and dear to my heart, boys. 'Cause
Illinois.
We got a chance. But the 24th ranked Michigan Wolverines are
Oh,
making a
another
trip to
hurricane coming
Champaign to the 22nd ranked Illinois Fighting Illini. It took overtime to beat Purdue after being up by almost 30 points last week.
They were victorious.
They found a way.
Yep.
So, shoot, you're on the clock. The Wolverines or the Illini?
I'm going Illini.
Attaboy.
Because they are riding a high right now. They haven't been here in a long time. I think Michigan they're good, but they're not who
They're
they
giving
were.
us 3.5 points at home.
I'm telling you, I think the Illini is gonna win by a touchdown.
Okay. Johnny?
I think I was wrong last week, but my dirt nap lock of the week is Michigan. I just think Illini's luck runs out.
Okay.
They've been playing well. I want them to win, but this could be a blowout for Michigan, unfortunately.
Okay.
And I want them to win, but I've seen this before.
Right.
These 5-0, 6-0 teams really have a hard time playing week after week after week, especially when they have to match tough competition, tough matchups, tough rivalries. Like as well as I do, it's really hard to keep that intensity. I want them to win,
Yeah.
but
When's the last time Michigan's been in Illinois?
They were there 2 years ago. But
It's gonna be a
this is
different crowd.
and we'll get to Carl's pick real quick. But this will be the first time that the Illini actually have a chance to hang a third loss in October on Michigan.
God, I
in
love that.
a while.
I love that.
In a while.
So that again, Illinois. I think they took a bit of a nap last week, a little bit.
They fell asleep in the second half.
Yeah, and maybe they were looking ahead to this big game with Michigan. They are at home. I think the Illini is going to come to play. Okay, they're going to have the fans behind them.
Big time.
And Illini, I would take the points.
All right. I love it. They're getting 3.5 at home.
Yeah.
So, well, you guys know where my allegiance is, ILL. All right, the next game,
Moving on.
the next game we have on the slate, LSU off a big win last week in Death Valley against Ole Miss. Ole Miss should have won that game, and LSU found a way to win it. They're going up to Arkansas and play Arkansas, who beat Tennessee 2 weeks ago. And they're giving 2.5 to Arkansas at home. 3 home dogs we got so far. So what do you think? It's a SEC showdown.
This is easy for me because, first of all, LSU is not at the Swamp. The Razorbacks, like I told you, I think they've got some. They got some fire, and I think they're taking down the Tigers.
Okay.
They're taking them down.
They go 2 in a row, knocking down top 20 teams.
I'm going to go with LSU. I think this is a way for LSU to make a statement. They know that. If you're the coach, this is the game that turns their rankings around. And so I think LSU has a chance to show the country really what they're all about, whether they are a top contender, not only in the SEC, but in the NCAA. So I think they have more talent, more speed, but who shows up?
Right.
So that's I'm going LSU.
Okay. See, Nick?
All right. Arkansas, I mean, they surprised me this year. But I don't think they surprised themselves. I mean, I think they've really, they got something going here. They're playing some really tough football.
They're talented.
Yeah, they're very much talented. So them being a home team, here again, I know they're an underdog, but I will take the points
Okay.
and go with the Razorbacks.
You're taking the
All
home
right,
dogs. I love
Can
it.
you give me your best suey? How about that?
There we go.
Okay,
Pig
I
Suey.
don't know.
We got Pig Suey calling the Fort Myers Beach. Oh my God, we're going to get arrested.
Well done, Yoda.
Okay. Well, let's transition back to the Big Ten. It's a big game. You got one loss, Nebraska, making their way to Bloomington, Indiana, to believe it or not, to play the 6-0 Indiana Hoosiers. And the Hoosiers are given 6.5 to Nebraska. I mean, that's insane. Shooter, those big corn-fed boys from Nebraska do well.
I understand Indiana's undefeated and they're riding high and they're at home. But I think Nebraska's going to come to play and they're going to drop them back to earth.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to make a contradictory statement, which is
I love
probably
when you
doesn't
do this.
really help anybody, but
Where's the coin? Let's
I'm
flip
gonna
the
I'm
coin.
gonna say it anyway. I think Nebraska pounds Indiana, but if it's close, Indiana wins. So the reality is that line 6.5. That is a strange line.
It is.
That
I
says
agree.
to me, Indiana's going to cover by like 17. But I look at Nebraska and I look at it being 6-0. It's hard to play that tight.
Right.
Like you really have to be perfect.
Well-
And the other team's got nothing to lose.
Well,
So I
You
think
call-
Nebraska has a chance of just,
You
making them look stupid.
You called Nebraska's only blemish. It was Mile Illini in overtime. And you called the overtime.
I did.
That was
I
the
did.
pick of the century right there.
Yeah.
So you're taking.
So I'm going to go with Nebraska. I don't like the line. The line tells me
It is
something's wrong in Nebraska. Something but I something's telling me.
Yeah, and just based on that fishy line, yeah, I'm gonna take. I gotta take it.
Okay.
I gotta take it.
Okay. All right. Well, we're going to finish the college football day with the game of the day. The number 5 Georgia Bulldogs are traveling to Austin to play, I believe, the best team in the country in Sark's Texas Longhorns. Now, Texas is giving Georgia. When was the last time Georgia got 5? Think about that. The Bulldogs on the road, that Alabama game to me was a little bit of a fluke. I mean, they spotted them 28 points and then came roaring back. And,
Yeah, they did.
and Alabama got that Ryan Williams kid made the catch of the year. So, okay, shoot, what do you think?
At Texas.
Horns up or horns down?
Down.
Oh boy. Okay.
I think Georgia's going to go in there and they're going to upset them.
Yeah. You got to remember they're coming off
That's my gut.
the Red River rivalry.
That's
They
my
pounded
gut.
Oklahoma, so he's got Georgia. Johnny.
I really don't like the way their quarterback's playing, but I think he is a little bit more focused. If he doesn't make mistakes, it's horns down. I mean, 5.5 points with a rivalry game. That's a real.
5.5?
It's 5. It's
Yeah,
5.
or a 5.
It's even 5.
whatever.
Yeah.
It's going to
That
be
5,
tight.
5 and a hook's a
They're
weird
all
number.
gamers. They're all. I mean, Texas not going to come in and blow them out unless somebody gets hurt. So yeah, I got to go Georgia.
Okay.
Hold on, SEC.
Okay. Well, Texas is part of the SEC now.
All right. Well,
Welcome to the SEC. Who do you got? Oh no! We got all three of you on the
Down,
dogs.
I know.
Okay.
Go the other
well, I
way.
want Georgia to win, so I'm gonna take Texas. Because when we give the kiss of death and all four of us do it, the opposite happens. So to protect Georgia, I'm gonna take.
You
I'm
cannot
take
buy
Texas.
research that accurate.
All right, so that's a college slate. Shooter, you're not just another handsome face. Good job, buddy.
Thank you.
It's great to have you out from behind the board. Appreciate
Yeah.
it.
I've been sitting behind the
Did
scenes.
you shave for this event?
Here and it's clean. I've been sitting behind the scenes watching you guys perform.
Yeah.
I got it from the best.
I mean, we got 3 bald guys and a player.
There you go.
What do you want? Hey, cheers. All right.
John Scully blessed me with a head of hair, so God bless you, Dad. All right, as we go to break, please always follow us, like, and subscribe on all of our social media. And again, a big shout out to Bob and Rudy Hamer at Coastal Title, our
Bobby.
dear friends. Bobby's getting a new car after flooding for Helene, but we're here to support you, Bobby. We love you and thank you for your support. We'll be back in just a minute. Welcome back, and again, thank you for tuning into the Reality Check, and thanking our good friends at Coastal Title, Bob and Rudy Hamer. All right, guys, we got 3 games to pick because the sun's setting and we're going to run out of daylight, so we're going to kind of go through this quick.
All right, the speed round.
We're on, as Pat McAfee always says, we're on a hard out. All right, so we have the Texans going up to play your Packers, shoot, and the Packers are giving 2.5 to the Texans.
I like it. I think Green Bay's at home. They're healthy. Christian Watson is back, healthy as can be. They've just got numbers. They got rid of their kicker this week. They brought in Brandon McManus, Super Bowl kicker. They got all pistons firing right now. Their defense is the number 1 defense in the league. Picks, interceptions. Go Pack.
All right, Johnny?
I don't like the game at all. I wouldn't bet it.
Okay.
I wouldn't even pick it. I think you never know who's going to show up. Jordan Love.
Wait, you should
We're
wear
even
a
on the
shirt. You should wear a shirt with a question mark.
Hey, we're on the beach and we're still getting caveman.
Or an 8 ball. Just one of the 8 balls.
Yeah, there you go.
I'll go Texans.
Okay.
Because everybody's going to go Pack at home. How about
All
that?
right.
Well,
See,
all right,
Nick?
and I do like the Pack. I think Nico Collins is out, right?
Yes, he is.
Still out.
Still out.
Yeah.
So their top receiver for Houston. I think Houston might be. They're going to have a bit of a challenge in Green Bay.
Houston's one of their top linebackers is out too.
All right, and then you got the clash of the Titans this weekend.
Yeah.
The Chiefs and the 49ers, and the 49ers are given a point and a half to the Chiefs. A lot of injuries still going on with San Francisco. They looked a little better last week. I heard Deebo Samuel's out now, possibly. He was. I heard that today. My general manager of my fantasy team, Jack Scully, gave me the insight that Deebo's out. So, who do you got, Chiefs
Well,
or
I
49ers?
didn't know Debo was out. That's a big blow to the 49ers. Mason, I think, is still not 100%.
He's on the fence,
yeah,
right?
he's not
He's on
100%.
the fence.
Kittle has been riding high for them. That's like their big bright spot. They don't have, obviously their running backs are still out. I got to go with the Chiefs. I just have to. Experience and
They keep
they
finding a
seem
way
to
to
be
win.
somewhat healthy. Kelsey is starting to play a little bit better. I think it's the Chiefs game.
All right. J. Nick?
Everybody's going to be picking the Chiefs, so I'm going to go 49ers.
Okay. I love when you go opposite.
So Andy Reid, a quality coach. He does find a way to win. I think San Francisco is kind of beaten up, and even though I'd love to go San Fran, I just think they're going to have a bit of a challenge. And again, KC, they win the game. They're 6-0, correct?
That's correct.
Right. So, that's against us. So your San Fran pick may be looking good, but I'm going to go with KC.
Okay. All right.
Obvious.
And the last game we have on the slate, which is a good one, coming off of last week, the Vikings coming off the bye, the Lions after the destruction of Dallas. Minnesota's given 2 to the Lions coming into Minneapolis. What do you think, Shoot? Is the Sam Darnold experiment going to keep going the way it's been going? It's been pretty good so far.
I think the Lions right now they solidified something from what I saw last week. They're loaded. Goff is strong. I mean, his passing percentage is through the roof right now. And they've got Montgomery. They've got what's the other Gibson. They're just strong all around. So I mean, I look at Minnesota. The only thing that stands out to me is Darnold and Jefferson, and maybe Addison. But I think Detroit's got them.
Okay.
I think they're going to whip them. Actually,
I don't think the big guy knows anything about football. That's okay. I'm going to go with the Purple People Eaters.
You're going
You
with
go
Purple People.
opposite every time he chooses a team. You go opposite.
This is going to be just fun to see how this works out.
That's fine.
That's how I go.
And you're right. He has every time.
True. I agree.
His picks remind me of Elliott's. They're too obvious.
Oh,
It's all
don't ever.
stat
Oh, come
covered.
on.
No, he makes a
So-
good
Come on,
point,
man.
though.
All
He
right.
makes a good point. I mean, Detroit is firing on all cylinders. They got a phenomenal running game mixed with that passing game. They're firing.
Blah,
They're
blah, blah.
sure
Whatever.
firing high. And again, Minnesota defense has been great. So maybe it's not going to be as high of a scoring game. Maybe you go with the under on this. But I do like Detroit.
And I will say this as well. I have a lot of respect, and I really like that coach, man. He's something
Dan
else.
Campbell.
That dude is passionate. Yeah.
Well, you know our boy Hogan's on the team, so we're
That's
rooting for
right.
the
That's
Lions.
right.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna give you my dirt nap lock or pick or surprise pick.
Okay.
And it has nothing to do with the game, but there's a certain player that has played and wears number 99 who has not signed his retirement papers with the National Football League. And with the Aiden Hutchinson injury last week, which was a shame, had that sack and broke his leg. You're going to see J.J. Watt in a Detroit Lions uniform in the next 10 days.
Wow.
That's my prediction.
Wow.
All right.
So, because he has not signed his Hall of Fame, he will be in the Hall of Fame, has not signed his retirement papers. So you watch.
Do the
that's
Dolphins score a touchdown next week?
I don't think so.
I mean,
Both
how
are
many
scorers.
times have you heard the name Tyreek Hill and Waddle
You haven't.
Yeah.
over the last
No.
5 weeks?
You haven't.
Right?
Yep.
Non-existent.
Exactly.
Those Trey Lance get traded to Miami.
Trey Lance could get traded or Dak could get traded.
Yeah.
Well, guys, that was great. We're running on the daylight, so this was fun to come down to something different.
Yeah.
Good call.
But to support our people, we love you. Thank you for the support of the Reality Check. We'll be back in studio next week with our boy Gentry, and
our boy Patrick.
we'll
Yes.
have Tricky back.
Yes.
Miss you,
But,
brother.
Yes.
We will see you next week from the Reality Check. Thank you.